idea.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how we want to keep the notes. There's this Miro platform, or we can just open a shared Google Doc to keep our notes going. What are your ideas about that?
Whatever is simplest for everyone. I'm not highly tech savvy. I'm not a digital native, so whatever you choose, if it's easy for me to get to and read or add notes, that's my preference. Yeah. And
Okay.
I do know Google Docs, but I don't do a lot of editing on it. So
Mhm. Okay. My preference is, I think it's a Google Doc for now.
mhm.
Um, yeah, just
Yeah.
to
Yes, I
make
think
it
for
work.
now.
Okay, then I can open it.
I'm just saying for now because Mighty Networks from Radio Semilla has such a big, it's so rich in resources, and it is based on that, and this is the main platform. So we're kind of like a branch of it. Let's say an extension that was just created for it. It would be really lovely to being able to just have everything there. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you a platform I and in a web I am in Mighty called Force of Nature, and they have like, oh sorry, I can share.
Yes, I just made you co-host.
Okay. All right, hold on. Okay, so this is Force of Nature. This is as well as this is as well as a Mighty platform. But okay. Oh no, I'm frozen.
No, I can hear you. You're
Yes. Oh, I got my computer go all
there. You
frozen.
go. It
Okay,
took a
perfect.
little bit, but it's there
So
now.
this is it. But
Mm.
this in programs, for example, this facilitator training program was hidden unless you sign in and all of that. You actually sign so someone accepts you to take part of this. So I was thinking like something like that could be like this group like in a hidden section in which you can add the members, and then you just make announcements here, and then all materials we just add here, and we can have as well like live sessions
What's
and
the
just
name
the
of that?
general chat.
What's it? I haven't signed up to that. What's the name of the platform?
Is Mighty the same as this one? Yes.
Okay, I'm not part of that. It looks a little bit like Slack in the way that you can have channels for each
Yes.
topic of conversation, but it looks more complete for that you can add live sessions and things like that, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm just showing this one because I know Force of Nature has a really well done. So this facilitator training, as well as the becoming a force of nature, they are not shown as these ones, for example, from Radio Semilla. So this one, like general, and anybody can join, right?
Mhm.
But there are also like secret pages in which we can create one in Radio Semilla webpage. And then you have like upcoming events, like live sessions. So I haven't joined this one yet. I did the last one, but I haven't joined the new one. So it's all blocked for me because I finished it. But the facilitator training is open. So you have the basic information on the front, and then we can just upload documents or material or whatever. And then we have live sessions,
Nice. Hi, Elisa.
members
Welcome.
and chat. So
No.
we can try to move to that, but I don't think stray away. I don't think stray away.
Okay, so Elisa, we were just saying what would be the best way to keep notes and records and like the systems that we want to follow. So I opened a Google Doc just to take notes for the meetings, but then I'm seeing that we can add these Google Docs into the Mighty platform to maybe like keep the
Just the
information.
storage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't know. We don't have like very rigid structure for today. So we said from our last meeting that the next session would have the purpose of us fitting into what are the things that we want to do from these translation slash interpretation slash study circles groups. So I guess it's pretty much open to the conversation right now.
Okay, I'm just going to introduce myself. Hello, Elisa. My name is Eduarda. I am from Loja. I live in Loja, and at the moment I am in the UK. I am a teacher and a translator, so that will work, right?
Yeah.
You are in Wales, right?
Oh yeah,
Wales.
actually in Wales.
Right,
Not the
right.
UK itself, specifically and particularly just a couple of hours from you, in fact, in the fair, in the it's not a train, sorry. Vessel. I
Yeah.
forgot the name on the boat, on the big boat.
The
The
ferry.
the ferry
Ferry.
boat.
I
Yes,
am
the ferry boat.
Northern Ireland,
Oh,
so if
you're
you
a bit
want
farther there.
to come, you can come.
Yeah, but not so far from here. There is a port, and there is this massive ferry that goes every day to Ireland. It's just
Yeah,
down
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah. So close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so since I hear you, oh, Cynthia, I'd like to ask you, what have you been doing with Sarita?
With Felipe?
With
Or is it,
Sarita? With
pardon?
Sarah?
Oh, with Sarah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we started out in May, I think, with the idea, planting the seed that we would help Felipe by translating or interpreting the content of Radio Semilla into English. And it was originally just sort of like a fun thing to do, a hobby. You know, she could practice her English and I could practice my Spanish. That was one part, the language exchange. But the other part was I, at least, and maybe she would be reviewing the valuable content of each of these interviews, of each of these podcasts, because she's just so passionate about she's listened to every single one of them and it's helped her in her life and it's changed her life. And I'm like, well, that sounds wonderful. I'm seeking a community to live in myself that has to do with permaculture and sustainable living and herbal medicine and healing and all that. So she said, why don't we join together and do it an exchange, and we'll do those two things: practice our language skills and do translation, interpretation, and then learn the content that so inspired her. And I thought, sure, I want to be inspired. So we started out very slow, translating the content of uh, Radio Semilla, Casa Semilla, sorry, where I was living at Casa Semilla at Felipe's house. And as you may know, Felipe is the founder and the director of all the podcasts. So I was living with his family. I just moved nearby, but I'm still near him. And so I came to live with him and I wanted to learn more. Unfortunately, he's too busy to teach me. He's got a full-time 20 job with his family and with, you know, doing a new podcast each week. I didn't even realize he does them each week. And some of them are an hour and a half. And and he's just got his hands in so many things. So it was wonderful to live on the property and see what he's done as far as permaculture with his property. And he does have workshops sometimes and events, but at the time I was there, nothing was happening, nothing. So the open house got canceled, and I was a little disappointed, like, oh, I wanted to be more actively involved. But he's a wonderful resource. And so um, Sarah and I
Yes,
didn't,
he is.
yeah, he's a wonderful resource. And Sarah and I didn't get very far before something, I don't know how it happened, that that you all got invited. Was it Sarah or Felipe who invited you?
It was Felipe.
Felipe.
Okay. Okay. So Sarah and I were talking with Felipe, and that idea just sprung like a new seed and started to sprout, and then it just happened, and all of a sudden you folks were on board, and now we're at that place where do we go from here? But my understanding so far, and it may change as we go along, of course, was that this would be like the steering committee or the foundation committee that would figure out the system of how to get these translations, interpretations going and find a format for it.
Yeah.
And then once that's going and we find the most efficient way, we try it and it works, then we bring in others, 10, 20, as many as we can recruit to just do one piece of it. And for me, I would be at the end where it's an AI has translated into English,
Mhm.
and then I come on board and I do the corrections to make it sound like a native speaker because that's the language I have to offer. And I would love to pair off with one of you so that together we're making sure it sounds. The words in Spanish may be harder to translate into English. So I would love to pair with one of you when we're doing one of these, and together we find the best set of words in English. And then I have plenty of people who would probably volunteer at that point to um, do the editing of the AI in English. I just have groups of people who are involved in Earth Care Witness, and I, I'd start small and try some people out, but the idea would be it would grow and we would just sort of steer it, keep steering it, making sure it's working for everybody. So
Mhm.
anyway, that's my 2 cents. I also put it forth to Felipe to bring tours down here, like 10 people from the northern or the expat population, and we go from one permaculture site or one site. It could be a variety of types of communities, and we take them on a tour so that they can learn firsthand about these different activities, communities, healing, permaculture, um, bio building, all the things that are discussed. So I started that idea. It's too soon to even launch that, but
Yeah.
my brother is very big in adventure travel and people who could pay a lot of money to do this type of tour in Ecuador. So I'll put that aside because that's not what we're here for, but I just wanted to share that. And yeah, so that's in answer to your question, Ecuador. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's lots of info
Mhm.
to take. Yeah, but I like the fact that it is very well focused on providing the translation of the podcasts. Have you
Mhm.
have you ever read the books of Thich Nhat Hanh, if that
Yes.
is how we pronounce it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've been to his site. Yeah, I've been to his
Yes,
site. Yeah.
so that's awesome.
Mm.
So his conferences, they were all spoken, but there are so many books about his conferences. They are translated and written in text.
Mhm.
So we can start thinking of something like that in a written way,
Yeah.
the translation of the podcasts.
Are you saying that he uses a certain, or they use a certain technique for the translation of the podcast
No, that they translate his conferences and they have
simultaneously?
made books about it.
Yeah.
No, in
Not
books.
simul. Okay.
So rather than like a listening podcast, it would be like a book. Yeah,
It would
Yes,
be it would
definitely.
be text.
it would
Text.
be.
Because that is an easier way to like read proof. And then if after that it is still like wanting to be into podcast, because that would be really nice,
Yeah,
we have to see the format, because the format will have to change because we are not going to have the same person speaking, right?
yeah,
It is like
But
reading a story.
yeah, I guess like if we do want to then make it again into a podcast, it could be, the podcasts that are like if somebody is reading from a book kind of, but they are
Hmm.
thinking about the book. So you can
Hmm.
start the podcast by saying this is based on a podcast and the interpretation of it based on like a reading circle, and this is kind of what it was like, like if a bit like someone talking about lecture, or
Yes, yes, yes.
in the lecture, this is kind of what was that and that, but starting it that way so that it isn't like, it's not like role play, but more
Yeah,
like a this is what we kind of have from it, and we want to share it in this way, because we can't have it done again
In a
uh,
dialogue way.
in a dialogue way. Yeah.
Yeah, it
uh,
won't be a dialogue. It will be more like reading a story.
yeah,
Correct.
and
right.
starting with like this is what the context of the story is, and this is why we decided to do it this way, and then we can read as well what the kind of thing would be.
I like that. Yeah, because
Yes.
they are conversations. All of them are interviews, right?
Yes, their
So
conversations.
if one of us or whoever is reading it like a story, of course, professional readers are able to change their voice, do drama, and that would be great. I mean, we could
Yeah,
try, but
yeah,
I think that's a great idea. And then we don't have to worry about trying to record it through AI or something. Yeah,
yeah. Or even I think it becomes less kind of, I don't want to use the word problematic, but it becomes less because you're not pretending to be the speaker and putting yourself,
exactly,
like you're
exactly.
saying, okay, this is from a deep like from a perspective, right? This is like it is very reflexive to be like, this is what we were doing and this is the story that came out of it, rather than like we're just gonna reread a translation
Exactly.
in pairs. Yeah, I think it has a
Exactly.
really
Yes,
and deep and energy to it. Yeah,
exactly. So we can start with um well, depends how you will kind of get it, Cindy. But we can start by, let's say, listening to it, making a discussion about it, because our goal as well is being inspired and learn from it, right?
yeah,
So we can kind of have a chat on blah, blah, blah. And after we have a chat, we kind of have a transcript. So we can use technology to transcript as much as it can,
yeah,
then listen to it, see if the what is transcribed is correct, is in order, and it is understandable.
yeah,
Then translate it, only the text, have the text, and maybe Radio Semilla can have a section in their web page in which is like English translated
tech,
podcast, and
yeah,
and then just like a even like a brochure
yeah.
with all the
And
links and some
and
photos.
it is cool because even they can, even if somebody ever wants to, and it's already written and translated, if they want to do like I don't ask me how I got into this, but the other day I there's a in the UK there's the Land Workers Alliance, and they have a book that they took after 10 years, but it is like a storybook based
Mhm.
on a lot of the people and projects and movements that are part of it. So, in the future, if somebody ever wants to do something with that from the stuff, they can, which is the value as well of that part of it. I think, like, I don't know, like, there's a lot of,
Yes, yes. So it will be a text. It will be like
yeah,
a book. That is for sure. It has to be a book. And then we have to discuss, after we have the first translation, we have to discuss the way we are going to record it,
yeah,
the format, the body of it. As you say, as telling a story.
I have a question about that, just the first part. So,
Mhm.
how are we going to get the initial translations into a full transcript, written transcript from Spanish to English? Because
there is,
I tried it on YouTube
yeah,
and it didn't get me where I wanted to get. I could listen, and then there was a translation going, and then I tried to copy well that text and move it. It was a 3 or 4 step process for me. It wasn't easy. And so because only so much appears at a time, I had to just copy and paste and translate, copy, paste. So I'm wondering if there's a more efficient way to get it. Yes, go ahead.
I tried as well, and I found again AI tool, but I put it in the chat, and you paste the YouTube link in it, and it transcribes the entire video. So I'll
Great.
send one that is here. I think I downloaded one of the transcripts of.
Yeah, if you have one downloaded and there's a way I can access it, show me how to get to it, then I would love to read it's the first one, right?
I think it's the first. Well, it might. I was trying out different, so I think it was the first that appeared. But let me see. I can do the first one quickly, if not as well.
And you
Uh,
used an AI tool to do that?
yes, I put it in the chat. The link to the AI tool.
Let me look where you're sending this. Are you sending this to WhatsApp? No,
Tactic.
no, I don't know.
It's in the chat. It's in the Zoom chat, Cynthia.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking in our regular chat. So let me go to the Zoom. Sorry.
So of course it needs editing. I think a lot. I haven't read, but a little bit. But I think so. That's episode 72. I think it's because I was gonna listen to that one.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna copy
word
and paste that one. So,
That's
mhm.
awesome. So when we get that, Cynthia, you see, you can kind of give it a read, understand it, listen to it, and then just we can have a chat and like a discussion about it, because that is as well part is the fun part of it too. Just get
Yeah.
to learn from it,
Yeah.
going
If you
deep.
want, I can pass it now, the first one, and then we can do the first one in like next meeting or something.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that would
Okay.
be nice.
Yeah, I'm
First.
trying to do it right now real quickly because I get started for free and then there's download it. Maybe I just download it, right?
I didn't download it. I just put it in the web there.
Yeah, I put the URL in there and it's not giving me where I want to go. But anyway, I don't want to take up time. I just wanted to make sure I could
I
get
think it's good that you see how it works as well. Let me see. I'll share the screen. Give me a second.
Yeah.
YouTube, Radio Semilla.
No, it's giving me some instructions. You always have to go through these steps to get where you want to go. But I'll look at your screen if you're going to share.
Yeah. I'm gonna share it. I'm just closing
Okay.
some tabs because I think I have too much open and it's gonna be really slow. Let's see. So we have the screen, share screen. Yeah. Can everybody see? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can see you. Yeah.
So I have it already. Radio Sevilla, not Sevilla.
So there were 2 links, one, and then the second was the podcast. So which one did you click on?
So I clicked on the YouTube. So I'm in YouTube right now.
Oh, so you didn't click on the 2 links that you sent us.
Oh yes, they are open. So the link is here. That one, the first link called Tactic. So it's
Okay. Oh, yes, I see that one. I opened that one, and
yeah.
now
So
you're
it
guiding.
looks like this. That one.
Okay, and I got that page. Got it. And then
Then you go into YouTube and see. That's a episode 1.
oh, then you just put in the URL for Radio Semilla, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, now I get it.
so episode 1, that one, and then you.
Okay.
So you copy the link.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go back.
Mm-hmm.
And that.
So you get the link of the podcast and you go back and put it in the.
Paste it, yeah. And then you get this screen which is a bit, you're like, what's that? It loads. And if you go
Okay.
down, it's quite cool because you have here the kind of live translation. So you can hear it while you read it,
I did
Oh,
that
that's
part. Yeah.
awesome.
or you
Yeah.
can download it. And if you
It-
download it, you get this thing here. And what the thing I did is I kind of grabbed it, copied it,
Mhm.
and then I put it in the Word. But we could put it anywhere, really. But that's what I did. And then I put the name of it on the top because if not,
But
that.
that's okay. So that's in Spanish still. And then from there, you
So that was the transcript. Did I translate it here or did I
Yeah, so
translate?
what we have to do is proof check. So we listen and read.
in English.
No, in Spanish, and making sure it is well transcribed.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. That's the first step. That's the first step.
Yeah,
And
making sure it is all right.
yeah,
because
and
there's
I don't do that one. I do the next one.
yeah,
Yes.
because then you can if it's transcribed, you can like put it in a translation one a lot easier. And I think there's a lot of translation ones, but less transcription ones.
Hmm.
Is
That's really, really great. It's really useful. We have maybe two stages now, the transcription and then also using the technology assisted tools to have the translation. In between, I would like to ask for your opinions, like a parenthesis here. It was a little bit troubling for me in our previous meeting with Isadora that she brought all of these kind of like ethical concerns that she had about covering this type of work that should be compensated and that she had offered the coordinators of Radio Semilla to do as for not so much the translation but the interpretation kind of like covering with her voice or with someone else's voice, but from her work over some episodes. And I think she mentioned she would do several of the episodes. So I can see how we will overlap a little bit in the effort that she wanted to do, and that she put a lot of emphasis on this type of work being compensated, given that this is her profession. And
yeah,
I know that it's also for you, Eduarda. So I also wanted to touch a little bit, kind of like on that sense.
um, yeah. I think that because it's interpretation. Um, Yeah, because I was also left thinking with it, and like, but and kind of the reason I joined the group was because of the reasons of what I think I said last time of what is translation and can we do translation, and it is a bit like a experiment in a way what we're doing, and I think the fact what Eduardo was saying about storytelling as a method rather than an interpretation directly of what people are saying,
Mhm.
we're like I think we should make clear we're not here to kind of direct translate or that, but we're telling a story of what we think. That's why it's so reflexive. So I'm like a ethnographer. Like ethnography is like that. It in many ways it's like we're not here to directly translate or that, and we can experiment and we can talk to her again. I'd love to talk about what the new kind of methodology would be and how does she see that. But this is what the group gathered from an episode through means of storytelling, as if we were doing like a critical reading of the podcast in a way, but a reflective self one as well, rather than a direct. We are gonna translate the podcast and read them exactly as the authors or interpret them exactly as they. Because I think that's what she does, and for me I don't know if I can even things that you can translate and things. So what can we work together to story would be more of that for me.
Yes. Okay. There is a
Yeah.
difference between translating and interpretation. So interpretation, you do it there and then. All right. So if the idea is is interpreting, then they will be the interview and I will be doing it. It's similar to the Janet's episode because Janet has an interpreter there. Not an interpreter, but someone helped around and did a good job actually. Um, I understand Isadora's point when I hear her, because that is her job. And she didn't want to join this to do her job for free, as I
Yeah.
understood. And I know she offered the Radio Semilla crew her services. I'm not sure if she told them that she would charge them little or she wouldn't charge them at all for maybe 4 episodes a month, whatever. I'm not sure how she made the deal, but what I'm sure is that she stated that she won't do it for free. That's what I'm sure about. And all of Radio Semilla is supported by people volunteering to do things. We're here volunteering to do this. So as far as it is my concern, I work as a translator, but I'm volunteering here because the cost of doing it is what grabbed me to do it here, and I'm good at that, so that's why I'm here, right? And yes, we have to find a way of doing the audio of what we're planning to do. I think if we get the right format of the text,
Mhm.
I think after we have the transcript and the translation of like the dialogue written, then we can have a chat even with Radio Semilla crew to see how do they see, because they are the experts at the end of the day. It's the podcast, right? So how do they see the translation in English language happening? How they visualize it? Do they visualize it as one person reading the story? Because if that is it, then there is literature is so broad and beautiful that can let us transform a dialogue into storytelling, like reading an essay instead of reading Gabby said blah blah blah, Cynthia said blah blah blah, or changing voices. It depends on how as I said again, it depends on how the body of the podcast will sound like, because it won't be exactly the same thing. It won't suit, because they share laughs, they share opinions, they share even words in their own language that we have to maybe look what they mean. Jargons, just things like
Mhm.
that they only happen in the original version, and we cannot make them happen. We
Yeah.
cannot laugh. Um, who is the girl? I forgot the name of the girl of Radio Semilla.
Daniela Borja? Oh, you froze now. Thinking really hard.
Yes, Daniela.
She-
She laughs quite a lot. I'm just like,
You were frozen. Oh, she's frozen again. Can you hear us?
yes,
Oh,
very well.
you were frozen. Yeah. I have a question about what you just shared because I'm always the one kind of backing up. Like,
It's all
is the
right.
vision that we're going to have a written transcript that they can open? You know how you can open a transcript? And next to it, a choice of listening. Are there going to be both? Because some people like to read and some people like to, listen while they're.
Exactly.
Okay, so the goal is to have both and they can choose. And then the second part is when I read an interview on any of my websites that I check into, of course, they try to translate the dialogue word for word, and then they put in parentheses, pause or laughter or something like that. So it's very
Laughter.
direct, as if you're reading it the way it was presented. And that is what you were mentioning, the options we might have of either trying to do it exactly and what is the legality of that? Do we have to yeah, I guess Isadora would know about the ethics and the legality if we want to have it in a podcast with our voice or word for word, or what I like better is what Elisa said is sort of capturing the essence of it in a storytelling model, in which case we may not need we may not need any legal or ethical permission to do that. And I don't know the full details of that. But my understanding with Isadora was that she is a professional interpreter, which, like you said, she does it simultaneously. The person speaking, and it's instant. So she may not know about these other. I mean, she could find out. I'm sure it's her profession, but she may not know about the storytelling part because that's not what she does. That's something
Yeah,
we would figure out on our own or research or try it out. And then
yeah,
the last thing is that at some point with all these ideas, and Gabby, I think you're taking notes, right? Yeah. I didn't invite Felipe this time. I don't know. I wanted to keep him in the loop at least for part of each meeting, and it just slipped my mind to say, well, we should invite Felipe. But as we're running through these ideas, he can give very good feedback
yeah.
and help us steer with the ideas that he thinks will work and the ideas that he thinks maybe need redirection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby, what do you think about everything that's been said?
I love
The-
the idea. I feel that we are giving it a structure that really tones in with what we would like to do.
yeah,
Because just having the translation also felt a little bit cold for me. But now that I hear these of kind of like transforming it into a storytelling format, it really resonates in the way that we can do that. And I don't have much experience on that, on how the final product would look like, because I am in another area, but I feel that we can rely a lot on all of your expertise.
yeah,
And I also agree that I think this was a good meeting not to have Felipe on board, maybe, so we could really get to, yeah, kind of like crystallize this. And now we can probably have him in the next meeting to share that with him and see if that is also something that resonates with them.
Yes, then they might have some sort of feedback. So with their feedback, we can structure something better and then just crack on.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I agree. I think this is what I was thinking. Like without, it's so funny how things work, just cross pollinating. No? Like without knowing what is happening, I think that yeah, this is kind of yeah, because it's like how do you do something like it, and in the way that feels more it resonates with the podcast as well, and that so it's good to talk about it with Felipe as well. And I think I was hearing the podcast the other day, the one that was. Who was it that did the picnic de palabras? Do you
Oh,
remember?
yes, it was this girl. It
And
was
she
this
does
girl.
stories as well and all that. And I was thinking, I was like storytelling can be such a like versatile and useful tool in many different ways. And I was I came and I was like,
Definitely.
oh, this could also be something. Yeah. So when you said that, I was like, click, 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 Eduardo, things happening.
I think
Yes.
that I think that
Mhm.
because we're gonna use AI to do this, and we will have a following stage where we curate and we see for the accuracy, we start to plugging in the words, the slang, all of that. And I can feel that now it could be the time to also think and brainstorm about how to integrate other people to form the groups that would be covering each episode, or however we want to organize the themes, topics, or order.
Yeah.
Same.
So yeah. So maybe farther along, maybe better. But part of the, I don't know if you, well, Eduardo, you didn't really hear me before, but I'm doing a PhD on seed saving and soil care. And part of it is in Northern Ireland, and the other part would be in Ecuador. And the idea of the methodology is have a conversation because yeah, there's so much from a conversation. So I don't know if there's people in the Seed Saver that would like to hear or want to read maybe with Cynthia, like many maybe participants in the circles of seed saving and agroecology around here that might want to hear with you that and talk about it. But that could be an option in the English part. And then maybe there's members and things in the Spanish part that would be interested. But that's just one thought I had. I was like, oh, there's a big movement of agroecology in different places that might want to, and permaculture and syntropic, and there is a lot of movements happening in a lot of languages. It just, yeah, were things, yeah.
Hmm. I think we have to just give one step back in that point, because
Mm-hmm.
we are not really quite sure what the groups will be about and what they have to do exactly. So I
Yeah,
think we do
yeah,
the first one, and after that, we can see which skills we need. So then
yeah,
when we reach to people, we call in the people with those skills that we need.
yeah.
Makes sense? So I'm not saying restricting it. What I'm saying is try to fulfill most
One
of
of
what is
them.
required, and then as many as can come, of course.
Yeah. Like do a like a trial. Like this is one fully kind of done, and this is kind of what would look
What
like.
the final
So
product should look like.
and
Yes.
we can't really show what to do if we don't try it as well. Yeah,
So we first do it ourselves, get it through, do the translation, and after doing the translation, by then we have here and we have read the information several times. We can have a discussion, a chat, an insight, a learning, which can end up with a whole in the future. It can end up with a one whole meeting. So we do the first part. We check what has to be done. We check the skills that are required, and then we have a conversation of the experience of what we learn in the translation, doing the translation, and then with the final product, we reach to more people, we invite more people, so we take them through it, show them the final product, get them into groups, 2 weeks, whatever, complete it, and then again do a final gathering and do just an I will call it like education, just like gather everyone and just share what you think, what you learn, what is your point of view. Just get a couple of activities going, get to know the group as well, get into breakdown rooms, get to know one another, because we will be like doing in different groups stuff, right? So it will be as well nice to get to know everyone and then just carry on like that.
Yeah, I can add to that. So I'm also imagining, like you pointed out, that we need to figure out the steps, each step, and what skills are needed for each step. So anything that involves the Spanish language, I'm not in that step. I mean, I want to know what's going on and everything, but I'm not in that step. But what I was envisioning is that we're figuring this out among ourselves, the five of us, with Felipe advising, and then we're trying it out and we're figuring out each step, what's required. Also, in terms of what's required, we need to estimate the time. How much time are these volunteers going to be contributing, or an approximate time? Because volunteers want to know, what's the commitment. And then if we try it among ourselves for the parts that we could do in tandem, two people together,
mm-hmm.
that would be great for whichever parts can be shared. And maybe it's great. We do pairs in the beginning. And then once we've got it established, the system, the phases, then each of us however we get the volunteers to come in and say we're interested, each of us individually pairs with the new volunteer. So we keep it small at first. So we find 3 people, 4 people, and we are with them as we are teaching them, training them what we've just trained ourselves to do.
Mhm.
And so then
Yes.
once they've done 3 or 4 together, then they are trained and they can train the next person. And it can
Yeah.
just keep going until you've got as many people as you need. But I think just starting small and pairing off, and then maybe there'll be a community, like you said in the beginning, like you showed, a community board where people can ask questions and exchange ideas so that we
Yes.
keep in touch. Or just say, well, I'm having trouble with this. And then one of us would, or all of us would have to monitor that. We would be monitoring the board that people are asking questions or getting stuck and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm adding my
Yes.
thoughts. Yeah.
That is true. It can be done through phases. So when we are in phase one, so we do the calling, we're gonna work out the translation and study of the podcast number 10. Okay. So in each section we have phase number 1, phase number 2, phase number 3, and we just call in. Like people just join voluntarily, will join to phase 1, will join to phase 2. Maybe in phase 1 we have 10 people, in phase 2 we have 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it has to be done in sections,
You think,
right?
I mean, yes.
It can be done 3 things simultaneously. It has to be done in sections.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just thought about that because of, let me just show you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna show you again the one I was doing in Force of Nature. Sorry. Okay. So in this one, so let's say we got, this is our translation section. So what they have is like, here we will have, gosh. So we will do the call and then we will just have section A, phase 1, episode 10. Once we work it, then we habilitate the next one, phase 2, episode 10. And then we will habilitate the third, the fourth, whatever phases we have, and as many people wants to join through live sessions. We can do a live session after finishing, let's say, 2 phases, 1 phase, we all do it online, whatever. We will have to structure that. But it has to be on phases. And it will be really useful then to have Mighty. It will be useful to have Mighty just to keep it like in order like that. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. And then, of course, the general chat to just help people with what they need.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, just like a call in. Because
Yeah.
the fun of it is translate it and then do the study circle, right?
Yeah.
Translate. Once we have translated, practice it. What did we learn? What were the new words?
Mm.
What is this going on in your context, in your context, in your
Yeah.
context?
Or in
Yeah.
your country, what's going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is this happening in your country? So that is
Right.
the learning section. And
Yeah,
once we finish the learning section, we start the next one.
I like it.
So we are calling the study circle the process during the translation, or
I
no,
will say the after
translate
translation.
after translation into storytelling.
Into storytelling. Yeah. Yeah. And that
Mm-hmm.
way, because a lot of ideas come coming, and like yeah, I think it makes it more kind of complex but holistic in that way, because it's a lot of people thinking together about an episode, and then the story comes from that rather than from direct, this is what I heard, and this is what I say in English, but it comes from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be kind of like a complex exercise there because, of course, there needs to be like a coordinator of each one of the episodes who is keeping in mind that this is going to transform into an end product that is going to take the form of a relato of a something like that, like a
Yeah.
script. So they are like keeping in mind that that's gonna be a text, but then it will also be open for having those discussions, right? To having like, oh, this term is referred as this in my country. This is meaning this. Actually, like this joke is meaning something else, but not necessarily all of that discussion is going to be part of the text, right?
Yeah, it would be too long. And
Yeah.
something else that you just made me think, Gabby, is that we need a moderator to
Yeah.
make sure we are not going too broad,
Yeah.
that we are
I think,
just
a good way.
targeting the topic.
Yeah, I think a good way is we can also try within ourselves, but we can create like like a writing exercise even, or a talking exercise. So we have like a structure. It's like, because if a podcast is massive as well, so if we are like, okay, talk, then nobody knows where they're going. But maybe kind of, when we read it, let's say that we read the first episode and together, or we have that one. When we read it, kind of think about a couple of questions or something that could have like a discussion or a point of start. Or I think I put in the Miro as well, the compost storytelling. I don't know if anybody read, but it's like a collage. So you put like a word. Let's say, what was the first podcast name? Well, you put something, and then people can come in with like a thought on that, or an idea on that, or they can and draw and then talk about. But like, yeah, we need to create little exercises of thought.
Yeah, I was going to say that is like a visual exercise, visual
Yeah,
thinking.
visual thinking. Yeah, like an
Hmm.
exercise of thought, and then that is easier to create as well into a story than like a different, yeah, thing, I
You,
think.
you're really clever. You could easily be a teacher.
I teach Spanish here as well,
Do
and I love
you? Yeah, I
teaching.
love
Yeah.
it too. I can see you're going
Yeah.
wild.
And one more
Um,
thing before I forget, and not to lose this great idea, also, Elisa, about having people like groups specific to each one of the themes, be invited to be part of the discussion after we figure out the estimation of time, the phases, all of that. I've been talking with a few friends here. One of them is from linguistics also, and
that would be
she said,
awesome.
like, I would be so happy to volunteer to put my voice. So that may be the final phase when we have the storytelling already ready to go for relating, for giving the voice. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can see how they can participate in the different phases too.
Yeah.
But also, I am aware that coordinating people, and that's also very time intensive, and we need to be aware of our times too.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Um, I was just thinking, even this final audio that we're going to do, it can be, there are two ways. It can be storytelling just about the podcast, so it doesn't lose its essence, because it is as complex enough. Just instead of making a dialogue, the same information just into like a easy reading piece of text, right? I think if we put everybody's voices, it's a different thing.
Yeah. Could be too much. Yeah.
Yes, it is a different thing. Because if I want to listen to this podcast in English, I want to listen that podcast with that information in English, right? I don't mind anybody else's opinion. I just want that raw information in another language. All right. So I think we have to do it just the information that we are translating into the podcast
Yeah.
and
I
make it easy to
think
read.
that you can
Is
do
it
it like, yeah, and I agree, but I still think you can do it like reflectively, and yeah, like you can still do a story and keep them, like the
The
flow without it
essence.
being like a story about the critical reading of it. I think you could still make it reflective and ethnographic. It's a bit like
Yes. We can
your
take two products from here.
of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, for sure. That's for sure.
And tell the story of it in that way.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Tricky. Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
to
so
use,
cool. I love it so much.
yeah, I can also see the two products happening, but maybe the storytelling being the more complete version from where the translation can take place in a more direct way or concept
Yes.
the initial interview.
Yes.
Would
Yes.
this
That is
be a
it.
good point to set up some deadlines for us to start doing these spaces
Yeah.
for one of the episodes?
Yeah. So I also even sent right now the episode 1, so it's already there, the transcript in Spanish.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
yeah, that's in Spanish.
Okay, so the section number 1 that we have to do is do the read proof
In Spanish or
in Spanish. In Spanish, making sure it is correct done. So we can kind of make two teams. One team does the reading proof, and the other team can do the AI translation section
Yeah.
because it can just translate it as easy as.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
then proofread that one again.
exactly, exactly. Those both things are gonna be like AI. So the first team, let's say, listens to the minute 40, one person, and from minute 40 to minute an hour, whatever, the other person. So it's not the whole thing twice done.
Yeah.
So one person does the half and the other person does the half. They listened and making sure it is correct. And then when we make sure that it's correct, we translate it with AI and then we give it to the translators.
Yeah. And they do the same, half of the episode in that and half of the other. I think that works.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we will have it translated then. And then we will have a chat.
Yeah, I think that works as well. Yeah. It's like really achievable as well. It's like this is the way and that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we
So
come back with that.
stage 1 proof read Spanish to Spanish. And then stage 2 will be English to English.
Yeah.
Just making sure that actually will be Spanish. It will be because AI is gonna do it, so will be Spanish to English, and this will be a proofread.
Yeah.
And then the stage 3, and here is where Cynthia will come, will be English to English. And then the stage 4, chat.
Yeah.
And learn from others.
Verna, can you add those to the notes? Are you
Yes, I
writing
just did it in our chat. Let me just copy paste it.
Yeah, I think that's really achievable as well, like a clear thing. Okay, this is what we'll do.
I've
And it's
been
already
writing loads. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just got impressed. Gabby has been written has
Yeah,
been
it's so
writing everything.
I've been trained.
So stage 3 is English to English proofread, right?
Yes, that will be you make sure it makes sense. It is the kind of the right word. It
Yeah.
sounds more native. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Be right back.
Spanish to Spanish is just processing it through the like making the transcript, right?
Making the transcript and listening to make sure the transcript is well done.
Okay. And then Spanish to English proofread. Okay, that's from the and then English to English.
The English to English will be the proofread, sorry. Because the Spanish to English, we will make AI to do it. So we just read and make sure ChatGPT translated just right, just accurately. And then the English to English will be checked. That it makes sense in a native way.
Okay. I guess
Does it make sense?
I think this will make better sense when we do it.
Yeah. But I think the stage 2 to the 3 is not so different because so if the Spanish is already kind of proofread and then it's just translated, it's still gonna be really kind of bad translated with the AI, even if it's proofread in Spanish. So almost the stage 3 is kind of similar to stage 2, but stage 2 AI does it. And then the proofread can be done the English to English, but starting with the like, yeah. I don't see the stage 2 as a stage so much. I think the stage 3 is
From
kind of
English to English. Yes,
English.
yes.
Yeah.
And be sure to time each other or each person time how long it
Yes.
takes for how many minutes because they vary. Some of them are an hour, some an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We kind of get a timeline of how much commitment each time. And of course, it varies who's doing it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you anticipate that the times will be off?
Pardon me, the time will be what?
Be off, like, because I saw the transcript and just having like every second in it, it's a lot.
Yeah, I would take the seconds out and put it maybe every
Yes.
5 minutes and check if, yeah. No,
Just
I don't,
remove it. And we can
just,
put the names instead of the seconds because
yeah,
that makes it easier to
yeah,
guide ourselves.
Great. Okay, so we are not going to be focusing on it to be on time, but rather just for typos, for things that in the transcript appear spelled, things like that, right? In Spanish. So
Yes,
then we get a good
exactly.
translation in English. Okay. Yeah. So I can be in that team, in the first team, for
Perfect.
for the sake of of this exercise.
That's
It's
I can
great.
up
be in the second one as well. I can be in the second team.
All
Yeah.
right, I can do the stage 2 and 3 with Cynthia. What do you
stage
think?
stage
Yeah, I was,
4 or stage 3? 3.
It will be stage. Well,
I think it's 3.
I will just have to read and make sure they read the Spanish and read in English. Just go like that.
Okay.
So then you can do the English to English because I'm not sure
or
if you can do the Spanish to English.
No, I can't do
I
that,
was
but
doing that. I think and then I do which one?
Oh, you will do the Spanish to English?
Spanish. Yeah, I thought I was doing the Spanish to English and proofread, or the English to English with Cynthia,
sure.
or
Yeah, that would
No,
help.
let's do the Spanish to English because I think that needs a bit more of an eye because we have to read the Spanish and read the English. I think that needs more of an
okay,
eye.
Hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
so I will do, I will revise the Spanish and then I'll pass it to you. And then you will do the Spanish to English, both of you, Eduarda and Elisa, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And then Cindy will do the proofread for the English. And
Right,
Yes.
we will
right.
all, the four of us, and hopefully Sarita, we will all reconvene to do the discussion. All of
yeah,
us.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, of course.
yeah. And if Sarita kind of wants to catch up as well, you can share also the stage 1 with her, Gabi.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Tell me
Mhm.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, have,
that's
yeah,
a great idea. So, being August 27, I will actually need a couple, well, I don't want to say a
yeah.
couple of weeks. I'm gonna go away for the next week.
Okay.
Um,
And it is quite long, so even like I would say even start and see how you're doing and maybe send messages if we'll put our date, but if it is like, guys, it is quite a lot longer, that's a conversation as well. Or if you're like, I was done quite fast, also a conversation.
That is
And
true.
I'm gonna offer 1 week, but it may take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna, what do you say?
I was thinking we can dedicate to it 1 or 2 hours a week. So if that takes you 2 weeks, I think that is sensible enough.
Yeah.
So 27, that would be it's gonna be September already, September 10.
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it faster, but not to be,
Yeah.
para no quedarme
Yeah.
mal.
No, but I think it's a good idea, because sometimes you don't know until you start how the
How long it will take.
because when you
Like,
hear it, it's really fast, but then when you are like checking and hearing and stopping and checking and hearing, yeah,
exactly. And then changing as well,
and then
editing,
changing. So yeah, yeah,
removing
And
numbers, putting names.
yeah.
do we want oh,
Anything is wrong.
do we want to have Sarah included in any of this, or wait
Yeah.
until the next time, bring her in next time?
So we were saying that if Sarah has the time and she wants to do it for now, she can do the stage 1 half with
Okay.
Gabi. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
yeah.
And is punctuation, do we have to make the punctuation, or is it already there and we
I think
correct?
the punctuation's there, but yeah, you need to check it as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't take it too serious, Cindy, the punctuation and stuff. Just make sure it is clear enough, because remember that we're going to change it from a dialogue into a readable audio.
Text. Oh, a readable. Oh,
Yeah, because someone is gonna read and tell the story. Someone's gonna read and tell it in audio. It's not much gonna be person A says, person B says.
but in the text, the translation into the text, that is going to be more word for word. It's the next phase. Oh, now I'm getting confused because I thought we were doing a text that was an exact transcript of what was
Oh
said.
yes, yes,
Okay.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Let's
So,
let's just talk about that. Actually, let's not go
yeah.
farther than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the podcasts where we're reading it, or
I
Yeah.
think by then we will invite Felipe
yeah,
and kind of
yeah,
make a
yeah.
proposal.
Yeah, he's very professional in podcasts, as you know. Yeah.
And once we do this, then we can chat about that, and then where you go from there with the already idea we
Right.
have with him, we can be like, okay, this is what we have, this is what we're thinking, and things is, yeah,
Right. So let's make sure that we invite him on the next one. Or can someone, or I guess I could do it, but Sarah's been communicating with him directly a lot.
yeah.
So she, one of us should mention the next date so he can have it on his calendar. And he, knowing his schedule, he may or may not attend, but at least he'll know. Yeah.
Mhm. And
So
the date of that is a long one, I think, because it's 2 weeks in the Spanish one. I would say another 2 weeks maybe on the English one.
uh-huh.
So
Yeah, so let's give it a month. And I will try not to be the bottleneck for this so it can proceed with the next stages. But in any case, I think we can schedule our next meeting for a month, in
yeah,
a month from here.
yeah,
A month? What date did you choose?
we haven't.
If we keep the Wednesday, a
When
month here would be September 24th.
Okay, I won't be available. I'll be in retreat in California on that day. Yeah.
um, can it
Yeah.
be a week after, maybe even, or before,
Well,
or
my
that week?
schedule is I'm flying back to the US on September 12th. So if we did something on the 10th, a quick check-in, I could do that because 2 days later I'm flying. And then once I get back to the States, I've got a checkerboard schedule and it's just all over the map. So it would be Yeah, I'm not sure where it would fit in, but I could figure it out if I examine my schedule.
What if we don't schedule it for now and we let the stages kind of go? And then once the stage gets to the third, when you have it, Cindy, you can be like, okay, I have it now. I am this amount of time away. Let's schedule a meeting.
Okay.
Even though we tell Felipe later, I think it's difficult to know because we haven't tried it yet how it's gonna work. So
Yeah, we
maybe
don't
Yeah.
know how long.
yeah, maybe
Yeah,
let's
that's true. That's
do
true.
the 2 weeks of or the stage, Gabby, however you think, and then Eduardo and me as well, and then yeah, like the tryout mode on how long it would take
Yeah.
to do this part, and then we can
Yeah.
do one in a time and be like, okay, that is how long this part takes. Yeah.
And our chat and check-ins with each other, that will
Yes.
continue on WhatsApp. We're not doing
Yes.
on any. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine
it's
with
all right.
me. That's fine with me. And then when it gets to my stage 3 English, proofreading the English to English, are we thinking I would do that on my own or just do the first round on my own to proofread, and we don't know how long that'll take, or with one of you when the
Yeah.
translation is like, that doesn't sound right in English. I don't know what word they use in Spanish, Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because the stage 2 we're gonna we can the stage 2 would be the Spanish. Well, I can do it with you as well, Cindy, if you
Okay,
like.
if I need help, I'll reach out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
reach out. I love I love chatting. So reach out, yeah. And I
I
would love
love
to
that you love it.
yeah. So you reach out to me and we can have a chat and
Okay,
things whenever we're there. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
And
perfect.
That's lovely.
Cindy, one last thing. I think that you can go ahead and maybe tell Felipe where we're at.
Hmm.
Since you
Yeah.
are at his place, I would say
Yeah.
feel free to let him know where we are.
What we have
Okay.
discussed, yes, because we already know, like we have already like a clear way, a clear structure.
Outline. We've got to
And the
outline.
Yes.
box has all the notes of today as well, so you can even reread it and be like, okay, this is it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And is that
People,
9?
I'm
Whose
sorry,
phone was
I
that?
have to go now.
Me
So
too.
Okay.
Let's sign off.
I
It was
will.
a really good meeting. Thank you all.
That was
Yeah.
yes,
that was-
Thank
we
you,
did
everyone.
loads.
yeah.
We did
Lovely
a
to
lot.
see you all.
Have a
Okay.
good rest of the week.
And
Bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.